What's up, Math 8? Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Math with Mullins. Today we're looking at 8.1 Part 1, just the area of parallelograms and triangles. This is going to be starting our chapter on volume, and we're going to take it easy today just with a simple lesson on these. You'll be able to use those formulas to determine the area of triangles and parallelograms, and today in class we're just using a whiteboard marker and an eraser for this lesson. One thing we want to realize is we will be able to use a formula sheet all throughout Chapter 8. So today our main focus are triangles, rectangles, parallelograms, and squares. Parallelogram encompasses rectangles and squares, but you can also use parallelogram for every single thing today. So really just the triangle and the parallelogram formula. So the formula for area of parallelogram, as we saw, is base times height, and we can use that throughout our time today. So here we're looking at our base and our height, and typically when you're given a parallelogram, your base and your height is always going to be touching the right angle. So here's your base, and this is your height. So you would be taking your formula and plugging in the base, 9, and height, 12, and just multiplying. 9 times 12 is 108, so I'm going to get 108 centimeters squared. As we go through these examples, I'm going to give you a few moments to pause the video right here, try it on your own, and when you're ready to check, click play. All right, base times height. Base is my 12, height is my 10, so I'm multiplying those. I'm going to get 120 yards squared for this area. Again, pause it if you'd like to. Area is base times height, so my base is 12, my height is 4 because it's touching the right angle, and 12 times 4 is 48, so I'm going to get 48 meters squared. Pausing if you need to. Area is base times height, so that is 16 base, height is 6. 16 times 6 would give us 96 inches squared. This one is shown as a square, so we know that all sides are the same. So you could actually use the area for a square, which is s squared, or side squared. Base times height still works here. You just know base and height are the same thing. Essentially, we're just going to do 7 squared, which will give us 49 feet squared. Again here, pausing if you need to. You can use base times height or side squared. I'm going to use side squared. 11 squared is a 121 yards squared. The next step we're going to use is our formula for area of a triangle, and that looks like this. Area is equal to 1/2 base times height. Know that you can still do base times height and then just divide all your answer by 2 there. So here we would look for our base and our height using the right triangle or the right angle. I have a 12 as my base and 5 as my height. I don't need the 8s at all. So area is 1/2 base times height, so that's 1/2 times 12 times 5. I typically multiply first. 12 times 5 is 60, and then find half of 60, which would give me 30 square inches. Okay? As we go through these, you can pause the video before I start working it out, so go ahead and pause here if needed. And let's try it. 1/2 of 11 base times 4, because those are the touching the right angle. I'm going to get a half of 44, which is 22 yards squared. Next up, our base and our height. 1/2 of 15 times 6. Some people will also take half of either one of these numbers, so let's try using half of 6, which is 3, and 15 times 3 is 45 square miles. Pausing if needed. Your base in this case is 7, your height is 10, so area equals 1/2 base times height. So that would be 1/2 times 7 times 10, or half of 70, and you're going to get 35 square inches. Again here, pausing if needed. Your base in this case would be 20. Your height is 12. 20 times 12 is going to be 240. So taking half of 240 would give us 120 square inches. Okay. And then our last one of the day, go ahead and pause if needed. 1/2 of the base times height. Your base is 14, your height is 7. 14 times 7 is 98, or you can take half of 14, which is 7, so you're really just doing 7 times 7, or 98 divided by 2, and you're going to get 49 square centimeters. Okay? Hopefully that video helped you get a refresher on finding area of triangles and parallelograms. Give it a thumbs up if it did, and we'll tune in tomorrow when we find area of circles. Have a great day.